Hi everyone, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and today I am sharing a process video with you. I filmed this whilst watching Shimel's live, and I thought I would pull out one of her collections, and she was actually scrapping along to a sketch from Page Maps. It was in the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine from the current edition, which you can find online. You can also get a copy for free from scrapbook.com. So I'll leave the links down below. So if you want to go over to find this magazine, then I'll leave that linked down below. You can screenshot that sketch if you want to play along as well. But I thought I would play along and do the sketch, and I thought I'd pop my camera on and film the process also. So I've pulled out, as I said, because it was Shimel's live that she was doing, I pulled out an older Shimel collection. This one's Field Trip. I have been trying to eat into my Shimel stash quite a lot currently because I want to make way for, I always say it, but I want to make way for some new collections to come in, and I can't do that if I have still tons of loads of older ones. So I pulled out Field Trip for this one. So these photos that I'm scrapping, these are some really old ones. They are from they are of my husband when he was a little boy, and I'm trying to make him a little childhood album. So I'm just working on it as and when, and I thought that this collection would work really well with these photos. So I've gone through the 12 by 12 paper pad and I've pulled out a couple of sheets to use. So I've used that red one and also the arrow paper as well, and made sure that I've cut it in the correct direction. So I've got that strip coming down the vertical and then the red strip going across the horizontal, overlapping the red on top. So what I do in this, I actually put together most of the layout before I start sticking it down. So you'll see here, probably not the most sensible way of doing it, because I have to move everything out of the way to be able to put it back together again. But in the end, it works out well, and it does mean that I was able just to trial audition things in different places just to see where I like them. So I've gone with the 6x8 journaling pad, and I've pulled out that green paper that says kid approved, and I'm going to add that as an extra layer behind both of my photos. And then and also the photos, they are overlapping, so there's not a lot of interest in the left side of the photo that's on the right, so I've just overlapped them, and I'm going to have them at a slight angle because all of the other papers are straight. Then I'm cutting into this cut apart paper, and originally I was going to use that "Come On Get Happy" as the title, but I decided against it in the end. So I pop it on and then I just move it, because looking at the colours, I've got a couple of green colours already on here. So the same tealy green can be found in that journaling sheet that I've used, and also in some of the arrows. And there's also that grass green as well, and then to add another green colour on, or another bluey green colour on, was just it was just a bit too much, so I decided against it. But instead I'm using my stash of thickers. So this is ridiculous. I have 3 packs of these. They are well loved. They are one of my favourite all-time fonts, and so I decided that rather than just using a cut apart for my title, I'm actually going to get some of my thickers used. So what I do is I do just lay them out ready for my title, but I don't press them down just yet because I'm not exactly sure where they're going to be sitting. So I do come back to those in just a little while. So next up, I fussy cut a few bits from that paper that you could see with all the colourful icons on, and that is going to form my excuse me, that's going to form my bottom cluster there, with the awesome, the camera, and that little, oh, I'm sure it's called a viewfinder. I'm sure I've had this before, and I forget every time, but that little red thing with the cartridge in that you look through it and you click around, you see all the photos in it. Yeah, that thing. So also I had this, which was from another paper from the collection as well. I can't remember. It had a whole load of spacey themed stuff on, and although he is in a car, one of these cars at a fun fair. Um, I don't mind using a rocket ship on my layout. I suppose it's still a vehicle. Try not to get hung up on too much of the embellishments being matchy matchy. I think when I went through and looked at the ephemera pack for this collection, which is why I end up using no ephemera, the ephemera pack was very dinosaurs and space. So there wasn't really much in there that was going to work with my photos, and so I do decide to use make the most of the pattern papers and the cut apart sheets from the collection. So there is another paper that has all of these like library tickets. So I have already cut a sheet of those apart, and I just went through my my box of goodies and pulled out a couple, and I end up chopping them in half, and I've added half to the top there and then half just under the bottom of the left photo. And I'm going to start adding a bit more dimension on now, so I add some foam dots onto the back of that rocket, and then I'm going to start tucking my cluster in just at the beginning of the rocket tail, if that's what you call it, and those are going to sit there. And this is where I look at my, I think this is where I look at my title and decide it actually needs to come down. It needs to nest in with that left cluster a little bit more. So, and this is the reason I didn't fully stick these down. And to be fair, with foam thickers, they are fairly forgiving anyway. So even if you do need to pick them up and move them, they are fairly easy to do that. And I decide to have the word ready in an arc, just to add a little more interest as well. So I think I'm done with the collection, and I've gone shopping my stash for some other bits that I might want to include. And I found these word stickers, and they're like the ones that you punch out on with one of those label makers, and they're Cosmo Cricket, and they are super old. They've been in my stash for forever. I never seem to be able to get them all used up, so it's great to get another couple onto a layout. And then I've had these for a while, and these are like little tiny word stickers, but they have definitions. So I think I picked out the definition of fun, and I can't remember what the other one was now. I was just trialing to see where they were going to sit, and I wanted one at the top, one in the top and one in the bottom cluster, but I just couldn't get it to work, so I decided just to pop them both in the bottom cluster in the end. And then I think the final touches are some smaller bits. So I went through the Chamel sticker book and added in some of these stars, some of the gold foil stars, and a couple of the little tiny word stickers from the sheet as well. And then I want again a little bit more dimension, so I did go and dive back into my stash for something with a bit of dimension, and I pulled out some acrylic stars from Bramble Fox, which again, and all of these pieces in here are Bramble Fox, so I'll leave that link down below for you as well. And also you'll see some red stars, and they are 3D printed stars as well, and those are from Shenanigans, and again that's a UK business, so I will leave that all linked in the description box down below if you want to go and check out any of those products. And they're super fun to create with. And I've left those little pink glasses on my layout. They aren't going to make it on. They obviously popped out of the box without me realizing. And this is pretty much it. So I'm just going to use some wet glue just to adhere down my acrylic pieces. And I am then calling this layout done. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed today's video, as always, if you could give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I'd love you to subscribe, and I'll leave a couple more videos linked on screen for you now. See you next time. Bye.